Have you ever found yourself paralyzed by fear of what might go wrong, dreading possible failures, losses, or painful surprises that may or may not happen? The ancient Stoics had a powerful answer for this very human anxiety, a technique called Premeditatio Malorum, or the premeditation of evils. In this video, we're going to explore how this ancient mental discipline can become your best tool to face uncertainty, reduce suffering, and build an unshakable mind in the modern world. If you're seeking calm in the storm of life, subscribe to Modern Stoic Message and activate the bell to receive weekly lessons that bring timeless, Stoic wisdom to your everyday struggles. Now, let's dive in. The phrase Premeditatio Malorum comes from Latin and literally means the premeditation of evils. But don't be misled by the word evil. The Stoics weren't obsessed with doom and gloom. They weren't pessimists. Instead, they were realists, brutally honest about life's unpredictability and the suffering it can bring. Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus all practiced this mental exercise, imagining, in advance, everything that could possibly go wrong. Not as a form of torture, but as preparation. Seneca put it simply, "He robs present ills of their power, who has perceived their coming beforehand." In other words, when we mentally rehearse potential setbacks, losing a job, getting sick, facing rejection, or failing at something important, we aren't weakening ourselves. We're strengthening our ability to endure, to stay calm, and to remain free, even when the storm hits. Why it works. The psychology behind the practice. Modern psychology confirms what the Stoics knew 2,000 years ago. Fear of the unknown, or anticipatory anxiety, can be more damaging than the actual events we fear. And this fear grows stronger when we try to avoid or ignore it. Premeditatio Malorum does the opposite. It brings those fears to light, strips them of mystery, and allows us to respond instead of react. When we visualize negative scenarios in a controlled and calm environment, we create mental resilience. We inoculate ourselves, just like a vaccine builds immunity. It's not about dwelling on worst-case scenarios. It's about preparing our minds to be unmoved when challenges arrive. How to practice Premeditatio Malorum today. Here's a simple way to begin. 1. Choose a quiet moment, preferably in the morning or before starting something important, to reflect on your day ahead. What could go wrong? What obstacles might appear? What emotions might arise? 3. Visualize them happening, not with panic, but with detachment. Imagine how you would respond if your train was delayed, if a meeting went badly, if your project failed, or if someone disappointed you. 4. Ask yourself Stoic questions. Is this within my control? What virtue can I practice in this situation? If this happens, will it truly ruin me, or is it just unpleasant? Do this daily, even for 5 minutes, and you'll begin to notice a shift. Things that once overwhelmed you start to feel manageable. You'll stop being shocked by life because you've trained your mind to expect its surprises. Premeditatio Malorum is not negativity, it's power. It's important to understand that Premeditatio Malorum is not about being cynical, paranoid, or mentally draining yourself. Quite the opposite. It's about gaining power through preparation. Seneca warned that those who never think about the worst are the most surprised when it happens. The Stoic does not wish for bad things to happen, but he does wish to be unshaken when they do. Why? Because he has already walked that path in his mind. By imagining possible setbacks and rehearsing his reactions, he becomes emotionally armored. This doesn't mean obsessing over misfortune. It means anticipating discomfort so you're never caught off guard. It's like mental muscle memory. Athletes train under stress so that during a real game, they don't freeze. The Stoic trains the mind the same way. Controlled adversity, even if just in thought, makes actual adversity less terrifying. This is power, calm power. Applying Premeditatio Malorum in your modern life. Let's bring this ancient practice into your daily routine. You don't need to sit in a toga or light a candle. Premeditatio Malorum can be practiced during your morning coffee, your commute, or before a big meeting. Here's how. 1. Start with the day ahead. Ask yourself, what could go wrong today? Your boss might be harsh, traffic might be awful, your project might fail, someone might be rude. 2. Visualize your response. How will you handle it? Calmly, reasonably, with poise. Remind yourself, this is outside my control, but my reaction is mine to own. 3. Zoom out. What are the bigger challenges in your life? Health scares, financial struggles, losses. Imagine facing them with the same stoic mindset. Quiet strength, acceptance, strategic thinking. 4. Take notes, journal about your fears and your potential responses. Over time, you'll notice the emotional sting of these fears lessening. Your brain gets used to them and prepared. 5. Rehearse resilience. When something bad actually happens, you'll find yourself responding with more control, clarity, and less panic, because you were ready. This is no longer a theory. It becomes who you are. The ultimate Stoic advantage. We live in an age of constant anxiety, uncertainty, economic instability, health concerns, relationship tension. People are overwhelmed, but the Stoic who practices Premeditatio Malorum becomes different. He doesn't ignore fear. He confronts it on his terms. He doesn't deny pain. He prepares for it. He doesn't crumble under stress. He steadies himself before the storm. This is why Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, could say, "Don't hope that events will turn out the way you want. Welcome events in whichever way they happen. This is the path to peace." He lived this philosophy. So did Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world at the time, who faced wars, plagues, and betrayal, yet found peace in this very practice. And so can you, because when the worst comes, and it will, you won't be broken. You'll be ready. You've already walked the battlefield in your mind. Turn suffering into strength. Premeditatio Malorum is not about predicting disaster. It's about mastering your mindset. It turns fear into focus. It transforms anxiety into awareness. It converts suffering into strength. It's not magic, it's training. And every day you don't practice, you're gambling with your emotional stability. But every day you do, even for 5 minutes, you sharpen your mental blade. And when life strikes, you'll be ready, not because you're lucky, but because you prepared. If this Stoic wisdom resonates with you, don't just think, act. Like this video. Subscribe to Modern Stoic Message and share this with someone who needs mental strength today. Let's build a world of resilient minds, one Stoic at a time. Drop a comment. Have you ever practiced Premeditatio Malorum? What has been your experience? Stay resilient, stay calm, stay Stoic. And until next Modern Stoic Message.